can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Eevee and make it look easy.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It is your boy Ernie, the Blerd without fear. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so today's video, we're going to be talking about One World Under Doom, #1. And man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, I was actually already excited for this comic, but I was not prepared. I thought I knew. I actually thought I knew. I thought I knew how lit this book was going to be. Nope. I didn't know. I didn't know. And you know what? I'm here to admit it. I knew it was going to be good. I think I told y'all it was going to be good. We talked about this on the Blerd Cave some, man, I feel like it's probably months ago. Which, by the way, live streams every Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. So, hey, show up. We talk about stuff. Oh, man, Ryan North is cooking. Oh, he's cooking. He's cooking. He has laid out a spread. He has laid out a spread, and we're going to be eating. We're going to be eating off this story arc for a little bit. For those that don't know, if you're wondering, oh, what is this One World Under Doom? What are these shenanigans? Like, what's really going on here? Well, for one, you'd have to go back to Jed MacKay's Blood Hunt from last year. I have made a video talking about how all this has come to fruition. So if you have not checked it out, it's going to be linked up here. But the long and short of it that you need to know going into One World Under Doom, during the final issue of Blood Hunt, Dr. Doom quotey fingers trick. Yeah, that's what Doctor Strange will tell you. He tricked Doctor Strange into giving up the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme. Look, first off, let's go ahead and cut the bullshit. Dr. Doom didn't trick nothing. Look, Stephen Strange, you just stupid. That's what that is. Clea told you it. Like, she told you. You knew this was a Scorpion and the Frog situation, and you thought Dr. Doom was not lying to you? You know what, honestly, Doctor Strange, you owe everybody at least a few minutes to tear your ass up. Because, man, oh, man, like, come on now. Come on. Don't put that on Dr. Doom. Don't you put what you did, how you fucked up on Dr. Doom. That is not Dr. Doom's fault. Dr. Doom, you knew. Dr. Doom has told you who he was since day one. Dr. Doom has been the same dude since 1962 Fantastic Four #5. Do not sit here and lie on Dr. Doom's internet that he tricked you, okay? Let's let that go now. But, oh, yeah, so basically Dr. Doom said, hey, I can fix the problem. This whole Blood Hunt thing, Blade out here wild in these streets, letting vampires run roughshod. Look, I got you, but you got to hand over the office of Sorcerer Supreme. You got to give me the Eye of Agamotto. You got to give me the Cloak of Levitation, all that shit. You got to hand it over. Run your pockets. Yeah, give me that too. Yeah, whatever that is over there, you got your pocket. Yeah, give me that too. He took all of it, and he said he would give it back once they defeated, or rather fixed the problem. Though Strange didn't listen to the whole sentence. I think he only heard what he wanted to hear. And Dr. Doom didn't mean he was going to give everything back by the time Blood Hunt was over. He meant he was going to give everything back once he had saved the entire world. And that's not just from vampires. He meant saving them from everyone and everything. And now Dr. Doom has united the entire world under the Latverian banner. One united Latveria. One that, I'm not gonna lie, some of this shit Dr. Doom was saying in his address to the world, he was cooking. I mean, the man's talking about not taking any of his personal grievances with the Avengers or the Fantastic Four, specifically Reed Richards, but the Fantastic Four as a whole. He's talking about not even doing anything to anybody. Like he's like, no, I don't care about personal grievances. I won. I got the office of Sorcerer Supreme. I'm in charge now. So I'm going to rule the way that a leader should. I'm going to rule for the people. I'm not worried about my own personal problems. Shit. Come on, Doom. You sure you ain't going to stun on Reed just a little bit? You going to stun him. You going to stun. He's going to stun on him. You just give him time. He's just playing the long game. But no, he says he's not going to do it. And then the man says, no more wars. He says, not doing any more wars. He says, now all y'all motherfuckers belong to me. He's saying none of y'all gonna be fighting. He says, if any nations want to fight each other, y'all gonna have to fight me. That's it.
We can all be some fighting motherfuckers in here this evening. Bring your ass, nigga. Bring it on. Come on. Bring your ass. Come on, get up and come on.
Is what he has said. But no new wars. We're not doing any new wars. He says no more racial inequality. I was like, say word? I mean, he ain't ever do nothing to me. I'm just saying, he ain't never do nothing to me. And then he says, no more wealth inequality.
Oh my God.
He says no more wealth inequality. He's like, no more food insecurity. No, he's like, we don't do that no more, baby. We don't do that no more. No, that's broke bitch shit. That's broke bitch shit. We don't do that. Yeah, we got money. He said, we got coins. Yeah, we don't do that here. I was like, man, he's cooking. This man is cooking. Then he said universal basic income.
Jesus!
Look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Look, Tony Stark is one of the richest men, or was one of the richest men in the Marvel Comics universe. He ain't give us that. Reed Richards, the smartest men, one of the smartest men in the Marvel Comics universe. He ain't trying to fix any of this. He out here just trying to be stretchy and smash invisible cheeks and do science. No, he ain't trying to do that. Then my man said universal health care.
That boy's one mean motherfucker.
He said universal health care, y'all. He said it. He said it. He said free top tier education. I almost want to slap somebody. This was the piece de resistance. He called out crony capitalism and corporate greed, oligarchies, robber barons. He called them out.
Captain, my captain.
And here's the thing, Doom is no goddamn fool. He knows better. He knows that the very same people, the oligarchs, the billionaires, the top 1%, the robber barons, he knows that they don't want to see this change. They don't want to see the world actually improved. So the second they start talking that bullshit, talking about uprisings, talking about resistance, this man is literally mid-sentence in his speech, his address to the world, and is like, oh yeah, and I know y'all out here right now trying to turn on me. So yeah, y'all about to catch that smoke. He says, y'all are about to catch that action. And he does it. He does it. He takes out any and all dissent. Now, I will say that is quite a dictatorial thing to do, but the man said that he's going to fix the economy. He said that he is going to give us all a living wage. He said he's going to give us all free education, healthcare. You can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, okay? Look, I like eggs. And speaking of, he didn't say it in this, but I am willing to guarantee you, depending on when Ryan North wrote this, I'm pretty sure he wrote this probably, this issue is coming out today, February 12th. I'm pretty sure this issue was probably completed and turned in before the election, but I'm pretty sure if he would have had time, I'm almost positive Ryan North would go back and say, oh yeah, by the way, the price of eggs are going down. We're bringing down the price of eggs, y'all. We're bringing down the price of eggs. Everybody can get an omelet without having to pay $20. You're probably asking yourself, okay, well, what about the government? So Doom is in charge. What happens to all those oligarchs, robber barons, and crony politicians we're out here bought and paid for? He's going to leave them in place. He's going to leave them in place in all the governments across the world, not just the United States. He's going to leave them all to do what they do. However, if they step out of line, if they step out of pocket, he's going to deal with them. And their jobs do not change. The only thing that's going to really turn around is that they answer to him and that they have to do what he says. If he says, hey, this is what's going down, that's what's going down. There's no questions about it. It just is what it is at this point. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Okay, you've talked a good bit about Dr. Doom. All right, where are the heroes? Where are the Avengers? Where are the Fantastic Four? Where are the X-Men? Where are the Defenders? Where are the heroes for hire? The New Warriors. Where are the champions, goddammit? Where are they? Where is everybody? Yeah, they're there. They're there. Now, none of them have really changed their mind about the situation. None of them trust Doom. They know he's on that Fox News bullshit. They know that he's lying through his teeth. However, as the course of this comic goes on, there is one person who stands up, and he's not a member of any of those groups that I mentioned before. He's not an Avenger. He's not a member of the Fantastic Four. He's not a champion. He's not an X-Man. He's none of that. He's the leader of Hydra. Baron Helmet Zemo. That is who steps into the arena and says, nah, dog, I ain't letting this happen. Imagine a fucking Nazi, a goose-stepping fucking Nazi, Zig Heili Nazi, was the one person who actually stepped into the arena first to try and take Doom down. That's wild. That was wild. That was the one part I was like, is Zemo so principled? Is that what it is? I don't know. Because as quick as he walks his happy ass in there, he literally storms the beaches of Latveria, literally rides on Doomstadt and walks back out drinking the Kool-Aid. Hate to see it. You love to see it, but you hate to see it at the same time. But it was hilarious though, because you know, even the Avengers are like, dude, how? Why? Like, what's going on here? Because, you know, at first, Zemo was walking in the door talking about how Doom was not a true leader and was the greatest threat to society, and that he was going to take Doom down to save the entire world, regardless of what public perception of Hydra is. And as soon as he walks in that door and comes back out, I was wrong. Doom is that guy. He's top 5, dead or alive. All 5 spots. The entire Mount Rushmore, all 4 slots is Doom.
Just remember all caps when you spell the man name.
He's like, no, Hydra is now diverting all its resources to build schools and hospitals in the name of Doom across the country, across the world. Where he even says we're going to be working with all the governments of the world to try and build these schools and hospitals efficiently and effectively. We're going to go on humanitarian runs in order to clear minefields from various countries. Okay, all right. Weird that it's coming from a goose-stepping Nazi, but okay, all right. I guess maybe people can change. I don't know. Maybe people can change. But the real trick here is it real? Was any of this real? Was this just theater? Was this political theater? And the answer to that question is more or less yes and no. Did Zemo storm into Doomstadt ready to run his fade? Yes, he did. Did Zemo walk out drinking the Kool-Aid? Yeah. And no, because that's not Zemo. It's fucking Doombot. It's a fucking Doombot. Doom said, oh, you want to fight? He said, look, this is the one thing me and Captain America agree on. When you see a Nazi, you beat the brakes off that bug. That's what you do. But Doom took it a step further and killed him. So Helmet Zemo is dead. He is dead.
Dead.
He's now in hell with gas draws on, burning right next to Adolf Hitler. It's interesting to me because in the midst of all this, kind of creates a revelation. Because the idea was, wait a minute, was there mind control? Did Doom mind control everyone into thinking that he was a good guy all of a sudden? And even Wanda Maximoff took stock of the fact that they could detect no magic whatsoever being used on the leaders of the world. And there was no magic being conducted on the heroes of the world. They still had their same mind. Nothing has changed for them. They all have the same feelings about Dr. Doom they've always had. So it begs the question, well, if he replaced Zemo, who else did he replace? And we learn that Doom also killed Red Skull off panel. He killed him. He killed 2 Nazis already. Love to see it. Sent them to the basement, to the Shadow Realm. He didn't even just retire the jersey, he just fired them. Crazy. Insane.
Bananas.
Insane. Love to see it. There's a very high chance that he very likely replaced a lot of the world's leaders with Doombots. And I mean, if he killed Zemo, that means he's killed a lot of other leaders. For better or worse. Take that how you want to. But I found it all really, 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 really interesting. And yet, even with the Avengers having a lot of this knowledge that I'm telling you guys right now, they're not able to turn the tide. They try and give an address to the world no differently than Zemo and Doom did. And it backfires. Spectacularly, mind you, because Doom is leading with results. Doom, even when he's caught in a lie, even when it's revealed to the world that Zemo did not turn over a new leaf, that he did not convert Zemo to his way of thinking, in an exchange of ideas. No, he killed him and then made him be who he is. So it made me wonder, yeah, man, how is this going to play out for the Avengers? It's really art imitating life, because we've seen this a lot. We have seen so many times where politicians say one thing and then turn around and say something else later. We saw this during the 2016 election. We saw Republicans who absolutely hated Donald Trump, hated him, openly criticized him. People like Ted Cruz in Donald Trump's back pocket. People like Lindsey Graham in Donald Trump's back pocket. Even one of his former cabinet members, Kellyanne Conway, was hypercritical of Donald Trump, saying that he would be the worst president ever of all time. Literally worked for the man and helped him get elected after saying what she said about him. JD Vance, literally Trump's vice president right now, literally called him a threat to democracy, called him a Nazi and a white supremacist. Now he acts like he's never said those things or tries to walk them back. He's now vice president, Donald Trump. It's all a commentary on these things. What I actually thought was really surprising was the mention of Wakanda in this. That Wakanda was welcoming Doom. That is fucking wild. That's how you know that Doom he's risen up everybody. He's rising up everybody because right now, and you know, I know some people might wonder, oh, well, how can he get Wakanda? Don't they know? Haven't they seen? Here's the thing. A lot of people forget Doom has technically taken over Wakanda before. Some people might forget about the Doom War story arc, but there was a time where Doom pretty much kind of had Wakanda thinking, maybe? I mean, he did it through spurious means, but the thing is, Doom is a guy who knows how to rizz up the people. He's a populist, first and foremost. He's a populist. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I think it's all really cool. I love the commentary because at the same time, while mocking people like Donald Trump, it's also showing you how someone could do what Donald Trump is doing, but do it in a way that might actually benefit people if not focused on hate. I don't think the story is trying to say that, you know, hey, Trump's a good guy. No, it's not trying to say that at all, because there are very specific things that are stated that basically are very damningly shots across the bow at Donald Trump. But there's also things that are shots across the bow at politicians in general. If you're a person who's a bit more politically activated, I think you'll see that. I think people who don't really pay attention to politics or try to ignore politics, you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it at all. But I'm here for it. I love it. I love what Ryan North is doing here. And if you've not been reading his Fantastic Four, you're doing yourself a disservice because the guy is lights out. I'll also go on a limb to say too, yeah, if you're not reading his Fantastic Four, I would see why you might be surprised that Dr. Doom comes riding in on a fucking T-Rex once his lies have been exposed and he just admits to everything. Yeah, that T-Rex is from Ryan North's Fantastic Four run. It's a T-Rex who literally thinks and acts like Dr. Doom. That's a thing. There's a whole thing behind it. Maybe we'll do a video about it at some point later if there's interest. If you're interested, maybe I will. If I see enough people interested in it, maybe we'll talk about it. It's easy to see why everyone is looking up to Doom, because he's about that action. Because when the word gets out that Zemo was killed by Doom, he leans into it. Because Hydra turns on Doom once they realize they've killed their supreme leader. And not only do they turn on Doom, they turn on everybody. They start trying to kill innocent people who had nothing to do with it. There's a woman who literally just sitting there with her baby, and a Hydra agent is about to send her to glory, her and her baby. And Dr. Doom saves her. And when she looks up, all she sees is a savior. That's all she sees. And that's kind of a commentary on how, like, this whole thing is a commentary on how people get suckered in, how people get roped in to the fake populism. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when during COVID and the stimulus checks were going out and Donald Trump put his name on the checks. He didn't really personally sign all of them, let's be clear, but he made sure that his signature was on each of those checks. Now, here's the thing that I saw lots of people doing during that time frame, and even leading up to this current election. There were so many people saying, well, he was the only one who gave us money. He helped us out in tough times. And people say that despite the fact that he actually killed jobs across the country. He actually killed the economy. For all those same people who are saying this, but it's because they saw those checks. They saw those checks with his name on them. Never mind the fact that he didn't want to send those checks. It is actually a matter of public record. He did not want any of those checks to go out. The reason why there's so many black people who think that Trump is for them because he, quotey fingers, gave billions of dollars to HBCUs across the country is not true. He did not want to do it, but because the money was already earmarked for those things, he couldn't stop it. So it happened under his administration, despite the fact that he didn't want it to happen. He actively fought against it. That is how you do fake populism. You move in a direction that is not counter to your beliefs. But when you see that you can't stop the flow of the things you don't want to happen, you just let them happen and you take advantage of it. The same thing happens when politicians who vote against popular economic policies. They'll often be the main people bragging about how they brought millions of dollars, billions of dollars to their state. Go check the records on how they voted, especially in the case of Republicans. If you ever see a Republican who's always like, oh, you're just giving out handouts and y'all are just doing this and that, blah, 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 but then they turn around and start bragging about how much money they brought to their state, 99.99999% of the time, they voted against that money coming to you. But they're taking credit for it because it happened anyway. So why not take the win? You didn't even have to do anything for it. That's kind of what Doom is doing right now. I mean, he's doing the work. He set all this up. He knew Zemo was gonna come run his fade, and he killed him. And worse, he replaced him, set up a big lie. And he knew the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and all the heroes were going to catch him in the lie. So he was already prepared to ride out. He already had a speech ready. He was prepared. And he stepped out and made sure the people saw him saving them, not hiding behind a wall. He made sure the world saw him work. So there is no denying that the world is better under Doom. That's premier supervillain shit. Like, people always say, oh man, how do these terrible politicians always end up finding their way into power? It's because people never pay attention. How many times you looked around and saw these people talking about, like, all these Trump supporters are now running around saying, oh man, I didn't know. I don't really watch the news like that. They all say the same thing. Or they say, oh, I didn't think that, I thought he was just saying stuff. No, he was not just saying stuff. Project 2025 was real. But because of his charisma and how he carries himself, he disarmed everyone. And also the open knowledge that he is a fucking idiot, it disarms the people who speak out against it. And I gotta admit, Doom has basically done populism better than the guy who is largely known for doing populism better than most other people. It's how people like Kingpin can run for mayor of New York and win. They literally set up the opposition and then take it down themselves. We saw Lex Luthor do the same thing in DC. The sad thing is that we live in reality, we live in a world where there's tons of Lex Luthors and Dr. Dooms and no actual Avengers or Superman. But in this case, in One World Under Doom, they actually got something good. Now, I gotta admit, I've talked all this shit, but the world is better under Doom. I can't deny that. Yeah, not yet at least. And the Avengers, Doom's not wrong about them. They could have saved the world from all these threats a million times over and never did. Doom did it in a day. You can't deny those kind of results, which is why I regret to inform you all, this is no longer a pro Avengers, pro X-Men, pro Fantastic Four YouTube channel. We are strictly One World.
One world under Doom. Doom is wisdom. Doom is power. Doom is prosperity.